Moving on to Brazil now, amid investigations that many believe could land him in jail, former President Jair Bolsonaro was seen flexing his political muscle. He gathered with thousands of supporters on the streets of Sao Paulo, lashing out at an election ban that bars him from seeking office for 8 years. Addressing a sea of supporters, Bolsonaro denied charges that he plotted a coup to stay in power after losing an election in October of 2022.
What is coup? It is tanks on the street, weapons, conspiracy. It's to bring political and business classes to your side. None of this was happened in Brazil. Besides that, why do they keep accusing me of coup? Now because there's a draft of a state of defense decree, a coup using the constitution? Have some patience. I make it clear that the state of siege begins with the President of the Republic convening the councils of the Republic and defense. Was this done? No.
Now, Bolsonaro added that he was in fact being persecuted, and he has called for amnesty for the people who took part in the January 8th riot.
This persecution is not over. It's a jewel. It's veiled harassment. It's money that would have been sent abroad. It's so much that they end up working against themselves. The last one now or the last but one, Bolsonaro wanted to stage a coup. It's an amnesty for the poor people who are arrested in Brasilia. We no longer want your children to be orphans of living parents. We have already granted amnesty in the past to those who committed barbarity in Brazil. Now we are asking everyone, including 13 deputies and 81 senators, to support the amnesty project so that justice can be done in our Brazil.
The former president has been accused of editing a draft decree to overturn the election results, pressuring military chiefs to join a coup attempt, and plotting to jail a Supreme Court judge after his poll defeat to President Lula Da Silva in 2022. Bolsonaro has even had his passport confiscated. Now, Bolsonaro's supporters invaded and ransacked the presidential palace, the Supreme Court, and Congress, calling for a military coup on January 8th, just a week after Lula took office. The 68-year-old former Army officer called for a show of strength as his legal woes continue to mount. He's also facing several other investigations, including some on false COVID-19 vaccination certificates and alleged misappropriation of gifts received from other nations. As the former president gave his speech on the top of a truck, some of his supporters also carried Israeli flags. Lula da Silva is in the middle of a diplomatic spat with Israel over comments where he likened Israel's war in Gaza to Nazi genocide during World War II.
From impeachments to inaugurations, if it's a political story, we are on the scene. The race for the White House is heating up.
We're beating Biden.
How dare he say that?
If it's breaking news, we're live with the latest coverage. From the White House, the State Department, and Capitol Hill, we know the issues, but above all, we know the players to bring you the latest in-depth analysis on all the key stories that we're covering. I'm Eric Ham. Join me from Washington here on Firstpost America.